Nima, like many communities similar in architecture, population density, culture and values across the globe, have earned some infamous reputation in their host cities. From the shanty towns of Cape Town and Rio de Janeiro to the slums of New Delhi and the ghettos of New York, these communities, however, the lifeblood of their cities, a colony of the working and struggling middle classes, and a testament of the neglect over time by the city administrators and government. Nima is very much a part of the whole of the capital city Accra, as much as it is a community on its own standing. Nima is a metaphor, a myth, and in equal measure, a stereotype, a word used to arguably connote negativity in the psyche of Ghanaians. This is the story of the over 53,000 people who call this place home. Though there's no agreed story of the origin of Nima, two schools of thoughts exist. That the community founded some 186 years ago may have gotten its name from two Ga words corrupted over time, Ni for king and Mang for city, meaning city of the king. The other being that the name Nima might be from the Arabic word Nema, which means blessings. The irony, however, is that Nima is anything but the city of the king, except perhaps being home to the current president of the republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who has called this community home since his childhood, or playing background to the presidential palace, the Jubilee House. Nima is neither anything close to a blessing as the Arabic name might suggest. If anything at all, the community is viewed stereotypically as a den of miscreants and perceived with prejudice.
Nima came about since around in the 30th when Malafuta acquired the land. Some of the tribes, such as Kadu, Fulani, Wangara, Zabarma, came and started the Nima. It's just a small area. And during the Second World War, when the Americans came and settled at the Burma camp, then people, because of business, the work, people rushed and developed Nima. Within 10 to 15 years, then the area developed. Every tribe in Ghana is in Nima. And we live coexistence. There's no any differences.
Nima here is mostly Muslims and also Christians, but the Muslims are more. But we are mixed up with the Kwawus, the Ewes, and all. We are all together here. And I think Nima is the heart of the Zongus. And Nima is a peaceful place.
Starting off as a predominantly Muslim community in 1836, Nima played host to traders, mostly Muslims from across the country and sub-region. It is no surprise, therefore, that the community has one of the largest markets in the capital, Accra. Known locally as Kaswa Mahmudu, it is one of the largest and busiest markets in Accra and is a great destination for spice traders, lovers and enthusiasts alike. The market has existed almost for as long as the Nima community, housing traders from across the region every Wednesday, the big market day, which sees the market swarmed by traders selling grains, cereals, spices, vegetables and livestock.
It's a business center too. It's a very big place for business, if you could see. And our fleet, you will see banks are from Nima roundabout to Accra Girls School. You could see banks, and it's a peaceful area.
But that is not all Nima provides. Though considered one of the oldest and largest Zungu communities, Nima has over the 1.5 century of its existence evolved into a melting pot.
Christian and now we are Muslim.
We are all one in this market, and to me, living here toughens you up. We live together in harmony and learn from each other.
Bibi oye no ye active dey bi we dey say me ni say metumi akomanim o. Nti Nima no asetena no kwa wotimu a wosua bibi. Akwa to say teaching. Wosua bibi fi wonyan.
Nima is also host to one of the largest working class in the heart of the capital. Affordable rent, perhaps being an underlying factor. These individuals are a great source of help in the city, the engine driving commerce and life itself. From courier service providers, masons, plumbers, tailors and seamstresses, hairdressers, commercial drivers, traders and hawkers to the majority of Okada service providers. Nima is also home to several cooking pots that serve the city's hungry in and out of the community. Many of the city's delicacies from breakfast to supper and the meals in between are prepared in the slums of Nima. From the Hausa Koko and Kose to the early morning Wachi and to Zafi.
I never forget you all the hustle be real. Let's make the dollar. My life in Nima, my life in Nima, Michigan Nima, life in Nima, my life in Nima, the shutter movement, my life in Nima.
Like many Zango communities, Nima is stereotyped as radical, violent and opposed to law and order. Due to this, Nima has been used as a synonym for that stereotype, a phrase used as an insult in one breath and almost in the same vein, an endearing one. Ever heard the description Nima girl or Nima boy?
Anyone from Nima, the first point is ABR or ye Kronfo and I say on Yadipa. That is the first perception. Maybe Nipano or Nyesa, but that is the first thing that will come into my mind. Telling me you're a Nima boy or you're a Nima girl, that means you are ready for anything.
For that side, they make everything look as if they are not good people, you understand? But most of the times it depends what will happen, and they know how to deal with situations.
Nima boys, they are hard. And even if you grow up from Nima, you have something like you don't fear anything. I would say something like that. But not all of them are like that.
That's why Nima boy, I dream about me to say,
we have heard a lot about them, and so we get scared when they are mentioned.
That description is as a result of hooliganism and violence that has been associated with the Nima communities for many years now. And the January 18, 2022 violent gang clashes between the Komoji and Bom Bom gangs, unfortunately, affirmed this stereotype and its accompanying prejudice.
There are a number of, gangs around the area. We have Jacob Group, we have Matata, we have the Kumoji. A lot of them are from here. However, it goes without saying that Nima is a melting pot of activities, including violence, and you have some coming from elsewhere to perpetrate the violence. But let me also add that these persons are known by the community, and they also know the community, and they know these people. But they are refusing to name them because that might jeopardize their security. They are more secured, according to the people I have spoken with on the ground, in the hands of the gangs than even the police.
The genesis of the problem is coming from parenting. The second one is leadership. These gangs that you are talking about, who give them those ammunition to fight each other? There are so many, let me say in quotes, influential people who give them this kind of ammunition to fight each other. So in the grounds, everybody wants to be superior. When in fact you know that it's about superiority in businesses and all over. So to me, I think we need to question our leaders and also parenting.
Some chiefs and opinion leaders in the community are worried about such violence.
The chiefs have no authority. We haven't got the power. We can speak, but we haven't got the weapon to strike. Chief can call somebody arrest, unless the police. If the police doesn't help the chiefs, how can we do? Can't do anything. If the authority will give the chiefs power to read the police, call the police, arrest this man, I think what is happening, it won't happen.
We know each other at Nima, in Nima. We have people in Nima now who are not settlers in Nima. They are very new to Nima. If I have a son, you can easily tell him, look, don't do this, don't do that. He will stop. That's gone at this. But now, whom are you going to talk to? The parents don't give us support. If somebody is arrested, the police will easily leave the person. And he will pinpoint you. Then your life will be in danger.
Ta kokari sarakan zango kenan na muke fama da abin mu ba na biyan mu bane. Shi da mu ba wani kuma abu.
The chiefs do what they can, but without the help of parents who do not pay attention to their words, all our efforts will be in vain.
Sarakai ke kula da kowa, wa ke biyan su. So shi muna iya sarakai na yin abin da ya kamata su yi suna yi.
Viewed exclusively from the lenses of the founding parents and the region of Islam, however, Nima is a well-structured and coordinated community. These community leaders, led by a chief, deliberate on community progress, keeping law and order, and making sure family values and roots are kept alive.
Amma babban ga wanda ya kula da Nima ba. Yanzu kika je round, kin ga an gyara ko ina, an tal ko ina, New Town ko ina.
We take care of development ourselves as chiefs. If you go around the city, you will see transformation, but not here in Nima.
Ba wanda ya taba mu. Har yau muna yi mun tara opinion leaders da samaru na youth. Muna duba ya zamu mu gyara abin mu.
Nima is also home to people of other faiths.
The name actually is Nima, place for kings. And for the past 4 years I've been living in Nima here, I can say between us Christians and Muslims is very cordial and very, very friendly. Just this new year, we sat right here together, the Muslim community, Christian community, to discuss how best we can help our children in Nima grow to become responsible and become prominent people like the presidents today. We dialogued, we planned, we looked at a way forward to make the community an enviable place to live in. And so for relationship, I can say we're very cordial and we understand each other.
I have Muslim friends and I know who I am, so I know the kind of people I mingle with. So I would say we are good. When it comes to Salah, we celebrate it together. When it comes to Christmas, we celebrate it together. We do everything together. So I would say, by all means, 1 or 2 people will step on your toes, but it's all about forgiveness.
But why is it that despite these, the community seems to see rampant negative reportage or seem to have a negative outlook amongst the public?
Nima has since time immemorial been an inner city with this attendant socio-economic and political deficits that is pushing a lot of young people into uncertainty. Not much has changed. However, the only evidence change we're seeing is the rise in gang activities and the fact that now there seems to be serious proliferation of small arms and light weapons in the area. So crime has become sophisticated.
Some of us, our behavior, the way we do our things, you realize that everybody have a group. So if you touch me, you touch like 10 people. Some of us, that's how we do our things, that's how we live in the community. So I won't blame them if the person said, you are from Nima, so the perception is in a bad way because the way some of us do our things.
It's because maybe some of the houses are too touched close together and many people living. Definitely you have some vices here and there. I'm not saying there are not vices, there are not bad people, but equally there are good people. Good. So very soon I believe people will be looking forward to living at Nima and they will not get it.
Through it all, a large majority of residents, though well aware of these negative tags, dispel the view and say the Nima community, contrary to popular opinion, is one of law and order.
About 50 years ago, when Nima people used to think Nima is a violent center, but Now you can't count Nima as one of the violence center, because when we are conducting election, for years now you can never hear there's a violence in Nima. Since 1992 till today, even though we can't say Nima is 100%, everywhere you go, every community you go, there is a good ones, and out of the good ones, you will find some few who are on the other side, who are bad.
Sazamini de Antisa, we say Nima Hase, your impenifo attitude be bra. Nima Hase no musori and Omaya Nima be briswa. Abua Nima.
I disagree with that assertion. Nima is a peaceful place, although there are definitely some bad nuts.
But according to Nkofo Kakrabina, I am in some Kakrabi, but I know son of the Krobia and Yonoma Pinyana Kakrandim.
People have attacked Nima with different perception. They think Nima is full of bad boys, bad gang, smokers. That's people perception. But we living in Nima, born in Nima, Nima is normal, Nima is free. When you live in Nima, you know that the town Nima is very free. Outsiders, that's their perception on Nima. So when they hear about Nima, hey, as for Nima, dear, when you go to Nima, if you do something small, they will be to so and so and extra stuff.
Unknown to the world's eye are groups of equally energetic youth who put their efforts to good causes in the community and challenge the stereotype. Popularly described as mini parliaments or called bases, these unique groups, mostly of young men of the neighborhoods, organize themselves into small age groups, meet almost daily at specific locations to catch up with happenings around them. Issues they discuss range from football, politics, travel, the community, sanitation, corruption, poverty, and other social concerns. From names such as Chicago, Brooklyn, Nebraska, West Side, and others, mostly of cities and places in America, these bases, however, are cited as breeding grounds of gangs.
In the past, crime was constricted to their base, so to speak. Nima residents perpetrating crimes against Nima residents, but now they've expanded their scope. People who are not resident in Nima come to Nima and solicit the services of young men and women here. We keep on militarizing our approach when there are certain fundamental issues that we could have actually addressed, which would deal a sustainable blow to crime in the area. And one of it is youth unemployment. You see a lot of young people sitting at the trees, sitting at so-called unconstitutional parliaments. They have nothing doing.
The young men that sit at these bases on a daily basis disagree with that assertion. They say some of these bases have respectable people, including lawyers and doctors, although a good number of them are unemployed.
Wasu basis amfani after watching society. Though wasu basis nana.
There are a lot of different bases in this neighborhood. It has its own advantages. But mostly, you see some of us here because of unemployment.
You perceive that maybe if you are living in Nima, you are not educated, you live a rough life and all that. But it's not true. We have doctors, as we are seeing these people behind me. Some of them are doctors, some of them are entrepreneurs, a lot, engineers. We have a lot of people in Nima. So Nima is a mixture of people living together, as I said earlier on. So it's a very interesting place to live. But it's just that people have a wrong perception about Nima. But when they come to live in Nima, you know that there are a lot of people, loving people to live with.
Kasa, enoso nyampa. Fise base atena no bebre, boan krofo bebre. Ewo.
Sitting at these bases have helped a lot of young men. This is where a lot of us get our ideas, and some of us have jobs.
So kase bia basic nano de niema bia ntisa ena bebre no aso e wo ma djuma a mo koba ansa na ma ba betina base na di nkomo ansa na adwuma soso e ka ho emmabunu na bebre nya adwuma nya ntino akwakoye se o ko hinfa.
Slums, by their outlook, seem like parasites, social organisms that feed on the host cities, leaving its landscapes scared and sometimes infesting it with the diseases of vices and pollution that takes resources and efforts to cure. As much as some of these views are true of slums, they are an integral symbiotic piece of the city puzzle, the lifeblood of the city.
The problem with drugs in Nima or in Greater Accra, I would say, is caused by the laziness of our people to go and work, and also by people who think they can look for money at an easy way. And then the responsibility that lies on the government, that the government is not taking care of that responsibility, that causes this kind of menace in our society.
When a person takes a drug, he doesn't know what to do, just to do whatever he wants. So those drugs, we have to look for where those drugs are coming from. And we've had some information. You will not even expect that these are the people who are selling them. So when we are able, through the municipal assembly to the government, if they can block those things, and it will help.
The ghettos you find in Nima today, the majority you see there, they are not from Nima. They come from far places. But because Nima, those areas in Nima is a ghetto, that they can come and get something to smoke or some kind of drugs or whatever and be taken. So that is why they come there. But most of them, they are not from Nima. We are trying to make sure we dismantle the ghettos.
The ghettos of Nima is where some of these young men find solace. Though they live in different parts of Nima, they usually meet up in the ghetto to hustle and look for ways to survive. The youth here at the Bobo ghetto are very aware of the perception people have about them.
So they buy children enough to be the cow.
I prefer being labeled a Nima boy because it is not like we just get up and fight. We support each other, that's all.
She international just sound na tambea make it afia mbere gasia oje no naimi na support nda shim ko shim fadi me obi be ka chere say boy isi ya madam bi wo de me ka be 50 Ghana ba ma dinati sa be 2 weeks ni on fa ma me ba sport me ne de yenko ne de bro.
If someone calls us to fight, even for 10 cities, we will go, because that is how we feed ourselves, whether we have to use knives or whatever.
Imagine the penalty de yako. Nti yakwa ayese kan yo ede yo. Imagine the penalty say ye kwa jade de me fight say me boa na madam for na ya jade no. Ne me so manya me kakra me wo mu no. Ne me so manya de me ye me chop money. Fisa djuma nko ye ma me de na me ye.
It's been a very long time that Nima has been given a bad reputation because of some previous acts they far way back. That reputation has set a perception on Nima for so long. From our mistakes, we learn our correction. And if you don't make mistakes in life, you are not a human being.
While dispelling misconceptions that ghetto youth are the perpetrators of criminality in the community, they want more to be done in creating employment opportunities.
We have
all learned a trade, but we are unable to put it to use to feed ourselves.
Our youth is not easy. They have their own choice of work or their own choice of job. When you give them a job, they will decide not to do. What worries them a lot is money. At first time, they will ask you, how much are they going to pay them? They have to be interested in the job before the money. If you are too interested in the money, then the job, you cannot do it. And as a youth, if you are selecting a job, you have to start from somewhere before you reach somewhere.
The arts and entertainment industry is often seen as a shortcut out of poverty for many youths in the slums. Nima is a budding place for wannabe musicians. Their inspiration perhaps being one of Ghana's most prolific music group, VIP. Formed in this house, the VIP music group were proud of their roots, displaying the Nima community in their music videos and hosting yearly concerts at the Salah Fests.
They live a normal life. They don't disturb anybody. If it's Salah, you think this place is a Muslim house. Everybody is coming here. Then they used to sing, they used to dance. Because of their group, everybody knows that Nima is a very good place.
The success of VIP has paved the way for many budding music talents. But unlike VIP, most of the youth have turned to dancehall music. Dancehall is seen as a conduit to express their frustration with the system and speak truth to power. Ali Musa, known by his stage name Jadon Spice from the Bobo Ghetto, is one of such budding talents.
Tell them say sweet how she come and take it.
One other activity that is at the very heart of Nima is football. The community has produced great football stars, including Majid Ashimero and Mohamed Kudus.
As you can see now, you can see some are playing right now. I go along Nima will be to find the boys. Sometimes they play on the streets. So that's why you get them from the streets. And Nima too, you know, Nima, we know how to do everything. We are good in everything. And football, you can. No say, Mohamed Polo from Nima. And Nima, we are good in soccer.
All these notwithstanding, Nima has deep-rooted issues that need urgent attention. The issues of security and order are top of that list. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that Nima and many slums like it are as a result of the collective action and inaction of society. A society that looks on when its underprivileged children struggle to accommodate and fend for themselves with no guidance and intervention. Soon these slums become unmanageable as grades cost to their host cities despite their limited benefits. But how do you transform a community almost 2 centuries old from the outside, as is always the political promise? Perhaps empowering the younger generation through education and job opportunities will gradually turn Islam into a neighborhood of the future. Aisha Yakubu Khalid, TV3 News.
My life in Nima, my life in Nima, Michigan Nima, life in Nima, my life in Nima, the Shatter movement, my life in Nima.